Good morning, Terabytes. This is your newscast for Thursday, January 13th, 2022. My name is Mr. Cannon. I'm the Tech Integrationist for New Code Academy, filling in for Maddie this week. And this is NewsBYTEs.
Welcome to NewsBYTEs Middle School Edition. My name is Maya.
Maya, it has really been cold these last few days.
It sure has. Let's check in with Rory to see if it's going to stay that way.
Hey Terabytes, it's Rory back with this week's weather. Today's date is Thursday, January 13th. The high will be 29 and the low will be 19. The high temperatures will be in the teens for most of the week. Tuesday and Friday will be warmer with highs in the 30s. Tomorrow there's a good chance of snow. It's predicted to be about 5 inches. Hey Terabytes, what did the jalapeno say to the blizzard? I'm a little chilly. That's all for this week's weather. Hope you don't get chilly. Bye!
Thank you, Rory. I'm glad the forecast looks like it will stay above zero for a while.
Me too. Not quite warm enough to break out the shorts, but I'll settle for above zero. Next up, we have Abby with the Weird World News. Hello and welcome to Weird World News. My name is Abby and let's see what's happening in our world today. Our first story comes from Norway, where the military is taking reduce, reuse, recycle very seriously. Enlistees in the Norwegian military have been asked to return their underwear and socks at the end of their military service. The lack of supply, partly caused by the pandemic, is the cause of the recycling effort. And since military services is mandatory for all men and women in Norway, the need for these items is great. This puts the new meaning to sharing is caring. Now, on to New Hampshire for a story about a human's best friend. Tinsley, a German shepherd, led the state police to the location of a rollover accident and its injured owners. According to the lieutenant, the dog was trying to show them something. It was kind of like a follow me, and they did. And to their surprise, to see a guardrail damaged and to look down to where the dog is looking at. It's just, they were almost in disbelief. So, that just about does the show for today. Take care of your pets because someday they might need to take care of you.
This segment keeps getting stranger and stranger.
That's why we follow up that segment with But Seriously with Duncan. It's nice to know the whole world isn't as strange as Mr. Cannon. Wait, that didn't come out right. Oh well, take it away, Duncan.
Hey everyone, welcome back to But Seriously with me, Duncan. President Joe Biden made a speech in Atlanta, Georgia on Tuesday to encourage senators to change Senate rules in order to pass voting rights legislation that the current Republican minority is able to block from being debated and voted on. In his speech, Biden mentioned that he had been having conversations about the bills for months with senators, incurring criticism from activists over his lack of progress. Democrats in Congress have written voting legislation that would result in the greatest change to U.S. elections in decades. There is, however, significant Republican opposition, with many claiming that the laws are not for promoting election fairness, but giving Democrats an advantage in the elections. The laws would strike down obstructions to voting enacted in the name of election security, reduce the influence of money in politics, and limit partisan influence over the drawing of congressional districts. It would also create national standards that would trump state-level laws passed by Republicans in the wake of former President Trump's loss in 2020. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said on Wednesday that the organization and Russia have agreed to set up more meetings to ease tensions between them amid the concerns shared by many Western nations about a potential Russian invasion of Ukraine. He also said that the 30 member countries expressed interest in discussing ways to prevent dangerous military incidents, reduce space and cyber threats, and arms control and disarmament, but he mentioned that talks about Ukraine would not be easy. He told reporters that there were significant differences between NATO and Russia on that issue, while emphasizing that Ukraine had the right to decide its security arrangements and that NATO would continue to be open to new members, rejecting a demand by Russian President Vladimir Putin that the organization halt its expansion. Last Friday, at the University of Maryland Medical Center, a man named David Bennett received a highly experimental transplant that involved doctors transplanting a genetically modified pig heart into his body as a final attempt to save his life. Bennett's condition, heart failure and an irregular heartbeat, made him ineligible for other methods, and the FDA approved the surgery under a compassionate use emergency authorization. For 4 days after the surgery, Bennett was connected to a heart-lung machine to support the new heart and was taken off the machine on Tuesday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Duncan. It's always good to hear what's happening in the world.
Next up is Caleb with Sports Bites. Caleb, I hear there's some interesting news to share about one of our new Code Academy teachers.
Hey, sports fans! Caleb here with the newest edition of Sports Bites! Today we are going to take a break from our usual sports report to celebrate an amazing teacher at New Code Academy. Congratulations to New Code Academy's PE teacher, Sheila Berg. Miss Berg was selected as Minnesota Wild Teacher of the Month. Miss Berg was recognized for integrating foundational STEM concepts through real-life applications by using the science of hockey through the EverFi Hockey Scholar course. Way to go, Miss Berg! We are so proud to have you as our teacher. That is it for sports. See you next time.
Thank you, Caleb. You are such a good sport for bringing us the sports updates each week.
I see what you did there. Since you got the ball rolling, let's do some sport jokes on Dad Jokes with Don. Hey Don, what does a basketball player do when he loses his eyesight? He becomes an umpire. Take it away, Don.
Welcome to Dad Jokes with Don. This week it's all about sports. Hey Rory, why don't you kick it off with your first joke about sports?
Why was Cinderella kicked off the basketball team? Because she ran away from the ball.
What's harder to catch the faster you run? Your breath.
What has 18 legs and catches flies? A baseball team.
Why did the coach go to the bank? To get his quarterback.
Why are hockey rinks rounded? Because if they were 90 degrees, the ice would melt.
That's it for Dad Jokes with Don. I hope you have a great week. See you next week.
Well, that's it for NewsBYTEs this week. Have a great week and take a bite out of learning. Bye. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. I have to go now, okay?